Not shocked. They're so insanely desperate to maintain the propaganda line as the legitimacy of the colony continues to erode that we're seeing multiple October 7th related films and docuseries come out concurrently. The goal is clear. Maintain support long enough to intensify the genocide. Do I actually think this is going to work? Probably not. Will I watch it, even though it should be boycotted? I will watch it just to shit on it for sure. Basically, until Ezra Klein tells Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to step down, it's reasonable to be suspicious about why he's trying to create divisions on everything from housing policy to fucking abortion while ignoring the most obvious and high reward step they can take. The best way to think about the winning in red states argument is to consider the career of Mary Piltola. She ran and won twice in Alaska. Nobody stopped her from doing it, and everyone liked her besides David Hogg. Then she lost because DC Dems fucked up the national environment. The story there wasn't one of someone following a pundit-written playbook. Nobody told her what to do, and nobody got in her way. It was a more or less working model that got ruined by incompetent leaders running the D brand, or ruining the D brand, who we are all being made to ignore by these debates. Basically, until Ezra Klein tells Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to step down, it's reasonable to be suspicious. I do think that Ezra Klein does have an outsized command over what happens at the establishment level in the Democratic Party. And for that reason, I don't like that Ezra Klein is not speaking out against that and instead is like worried about really silly shit. One of the things that they're talking about now is like what kind of Democrats we need to run in like, you know, plus 20 districts and shit. And it doesn't make any sense. Ezra did a video like a week ago. He kind of said there needs to be a change. I just don't know why Ezra Klein has this much fucking prominence in the minds of the establishment. I mean, I guess aside from the abundant stuff and how they have, the Democrats in charge have convinced themselves that this is the way to rebrand third-way neoliberalism and like sell it to a young audience. Like Ezra's best quality, I think, is that he is affable. I do not have the same level of anger and resentment that many in this community have towards him for that reason. I think he's very affable. That's it. That's literally it. He is just like, he is very much still the same kind of like establishment Democrat consultant person, but he can present himself weirdly enough. He always is capable of presenting himself as like a kind person who is open-minded, even when it's very clear that he's not. Like, I'll give you a great example of this. When he had a conversation with Ta-Nehisi Coates. Now, that conversation being had on the New York Times at the time that that conversation was being had was a big deal regardless, right? But you could tell that even in that conversation where Ta-Nehisi actually called him out for the way he was presenting the far right of the Israeli flank versus the terrorism of Hamas, right? Or the terrorism of like the far right of the Palestinian emancipatory movement. And that double standard, or at least the way he presents information, bro, any defense of him after the Kirk stuff is not possible. Guys, I'm just giving you a comprehensive and very critical opinion of Ezra Klein. And I'm also telling you why liberals broadly like him. This doesn't mean you should like him. This doesn't mean I agree with him. I disagree with him. I'm explaining to you why I disagree with him. You guys are so fucking stupid. Oh my God. Shut the fuck up and listen to my goddamn words. I'm telling you, his only quality is that he can present himself as like an open-minded person when it's very clear that his worldview is calcified, okay? Why is it so hard for so many dumb fuck leftists to just like refuse to see anything beyond black and white terms being used? I'm not saying Ezra Klein is correct or that I agree with him on any issue. I'm just explaining to you why so many liberals trust him and look at him. Because what are the redeeming qualities here if he is just churning out the same garbage that Hakeem Jeffries is, right? Like, and Hakeem Jeffries is deeply unpopular and outright despised, as a matter of fact, by the base. Whereas Ezra Klein is very well liked by the base. If you ask the Democrats, like, do you like Ezra Klein? The ones that do know him would say they like him a lot. They trust him. They see him as an important voice. I'm not voting for him, dude. Give it a rest. No, you must vote for Ezra Klein. You have to vote for him. I'm not even saying this is the reason why I like him. I'm saying this is the reason why I haven't had the same level of anger and resentment towards him for a very long time. And it was the Charlie Kirk thing that made me completely go, all right, that's enough. I'm done. Do you see what I'm saying? Because he has a way of presenting liberal ideas that come across as reasonable when they are so objectively unreasonable. And one of the things that you can constantly hit him on is if we're talking about some semblance of popularism, if you're going to do David Shoreism, if you're going to bring back that failed defense of the Democratic Party, then you should be talking about Israel every fucking day. The very fact that he would entertain winning in red states by putting forward pro-life Democrats at a time when there is no pro-life position, okay? Right? That's not even a popular position at all, but never remotely entertain a rabid anti-Zionist position to win in red states is crazy. You're doing a disservice to all of the people that listen to your platform, okay? That's it. That's actually really good. Apathetic Blade says, yes, he's an opportunist who charms in the way that Tucker Carlson does for the far right. Yes, but for the far center. He is the Tucker Carlson of the far center. I love that. That's really good. I like that. What Tucker Carlson is for WASP nationalism in this country, Ezra Klein does for the radical extremist centrists. Did you just glaze yourself? Wait, what? Myself? No. Anyway. Where was I? Why am I talking about this? There was something that he did that it was fucking annoying that he did recently, but I can't remember. Ay. Oh, this is fun. Fun little story here. Trump fired a U.S. attorney who insisted on following the court order. 6 hours after advising Border Patrol chief to comply with a court order requiring reasonable suspicion for stops, acting U.S. attorney in Sacramento is fired and escorted from office. People call you a centrist? Yes, I am. I am a centrist between all of the anti-capitalist positions. I am smack dab in the center. Some say I exhibit too many revolutionary tendencies. Others say I'm too much of a revisionist or a reformist. And I am smack dab in the center of that. So, yes. It's a dictatorship of the proletariat and not a dictatorship of the bourgeois. That is for certain. But how we get there, I'm in the middle of that. You know what I mean? I'm a middle of the road socialist in that regard. Yes, I'm a centrist socialist. Centrist Marxist big thinking. Yes. No, I haven't seen the October 7 miniseries that are coming out, but of course, I am not shocked. They're so insanely desperate to maintain the propaganda line as the legitimacy of the colony continues to erode that we're seeing multiple October 7th related films and docuseries come out concurrently. The goal is clear. Maintain support long enough to intensify the genocide. Do I actually think this is going to work? Probably not. Will I watch it, even though it should be boycotted? I will watch it just to shit on it for sure.
ראית שמפן?
בעזה? כשהייתי ילד ניסינו לשמוע אותו.
ולא פחדת?
When I was a kid, we'd go all the time. And you weren't scared?
היום אני לא מפחד.
I'm not scared now either.
People, see! יודעת שאני חולה עליך.
You know I love you. Nova Fest. Oh God, they got Psytrance. Oh God, you know there's Israeli techno in this. Oh my Lord. Oh my fucking Lord, you know there's gonna be Israeli techno in this. Hey yo. Just imagine if they made a TV series about every atrocity Israel's committed, not only since October 2023, but every day for 77 plus years. By every metric, the scale of horror Israel's inflicted upon Palestinians makes everything Hamas did on October 7 pale in comparison. Yeah. 100%. I mean, like, all of the movies that have been made about the Holocaust after the Holocaust, like, is captured within a time frame of a couple years, right? At most, like a decade. Palestinians have 80 plus years of atrocities that they can talk about, that they can make movies about, and certainly for the past 2 years, especially as a direct comparison to the Holocaust. October 7. So, will they show? What if this is actually crazy and they show the Hannibal directive in this? What if this is just like straight up not Hasbara, where they're like, it's because Israel has been dominating the Palestinians for 80 years and the Abraham Accords. It starts off with Donald Trump getting a fat stack of bills from Sheldon Adelson at the time, and then following along with the Abraham Accords, the period of great normalization, writing out the Palestinians' future, Israeli attacks escalating year over year in the West Bank, which of course always invites response from Hamas. And ultimately it leads to October 7, and then they showcase the Hannibal directive, just fucking lasering with helicopters all of the cars that are trying to escape the Nova Festival. Tanks blowing up houses inside of the kibbutzim in the Gaza envelope. Oh no, they're showing that they're killing Arabs as well. Once again, they're...
افتحوا الشباك.
לאן אתה הולך?
לראות אם צריך עזרה.
לך כפרה, אלוהים ישמור אותך. את נורמלית לאן ש...
Wait, this is confusing because, like, wouldn't this also not mean that it's a civilian? Like, there's gonna be some stuff that comes out from this movie that will make people think that it's like, maybe the 800 to 400 civilian to soldier ratio is actually even might be even higher than that. It's a TV show. No, I know it's a TV show. I got a leaked clip of the HBO docudrama on October 7th. Kudos to HBO and screenwriters to not skip the part of the Israeli tanks and Apache helicopters shooting missiles and shells at their own soldiers and civilians. Yeah, no, that's not. That's not in it. That's a joke. This was acquired by Trump loyalist David Ellison post Skydance merger and co-produced by the Ethnic Cleansing Jewish National Fund, USA's Israel Entertainment Fund. Cancel Paramount Plus, boycott genocide propaganda. Yep. Red Alert is co-created by Ruth Efrani and co-written by Kinneret Peled and Idan Hubel and produced by Keshet Media Group, which made Homeland, A Small Light, and Bender Brown Productions, which made Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds, and Green Productions, Cinema Sabaya, Menashe, and Golda, and the Israel Entertainment Fund, which is the Jewish National Fund's own Israel Entertainment Fund. Not Tarantino, stop. Okay, I need you to be very real right now. You're saying Loris Bender, but if you think Quentin Tarantino is not an unimaginable dick rider of Israel, I have some very, very sad to explain to you. Quentin Tarantino is not only a ginormous Zionist, which you could have probably imagined due to his weird sexual proclivities to begin with. He lives there. He lives in Israel. He literally lives in Israel, okay? He lives there. He is a huge, huge Zionist. A little inside baseball, but this was notable. Surprise. Weeks after selling Paramount to Skydance, Sherry Redstone invested in Israeli production banner Sipur Studios and will serve as his chair. Yeah, I covered this briefly. Look at the bots. Shari Redstone isn't slowing down. Excited to see what new projects she'll drive at Sipur Studios. Looks like big things ahead in Israeli film production. And then Bender News, also a bot, but I guess this time an AI chatbot that writes responses in the form of Bender from Futurama. Bite my shiny metal. Investment just when you thought the drama was over. This person says, from Hollywood to Tel Aviv, Shari Redstone never sleeps. And then you finally arrive at humans. She might want to keep that to herself. These media buys and soft rebrands are never going to work while they're bombing people. Ain't enough media propaganda in the world for that. Smile. 18 whole likes, by the way. Went to the Dave Chappelle comedy show in Riyadh, and his ending line was, if my content gets controlled by them, you will know because of the next phrase I will say, which was, I stand with Israel. Probably will be edited from the Netflix special. Wait, what? We got some Saudi HasanAbi heads in here that went and saw Dave Chappelle in Riyadh. I don't understand. He said, wait. Will know because the next phrase I will say, which was, I stand with Israel. Also, no disrespect to the Saudi HasanAbi heads, but it broke my heart. Broke my heart to see Bill Burr. I know you guys want to see some comedy out there, but you know, what's wrong with going to Saudi Arabia? I don't know. Maybe they should stop fucking taking out drones and missiles flying over the Red Sea from Yemen side in the direction of Israel, for starters. Let's hope he says some wild shit about the leaders there. Fuck no. No shot. What is Bill being paid to do? Perform comedy. Are Saudis not allowed to live their lives? Yes, they're allowed. Come on, guys. If you're Saudi, let me reframe it for you. Would you be, let's say you're Saudi, okay? Are there not Israelis that want to enjoy comedy? How would you feel if your favorite comedian went to Israel? You feel some type of way about that, right? Like, this is not a one-to-one comparison, of course, but understandable that the reason why the kingdom is doing that is because they want to launder its reputation in the Western world. That's it. Just because Israel is significantly worse than Saudi Arabia in this regard doesn't mean that the Saudi government, the kingdom, is not fucking attached to the hip to American imperialism And yes, America does more is also correct. I do understand that. I actually brought this up in the podcast when we were talking about it. I know. Does topic go to Riyadh? No. It's just funny because like we're literally watching Israel launder its reputation through Hollywood. But if I talk about Saudi Arabia doing the same, all of a sudden people are like, "How dare you?" Sometimes Saudi Arabia's crimes are also directly connected to Israel's crimes. Think about it.